First, to everyone who is watching right now, a sultan governs our land. However, many times the sultan is inadequate at his job, so the Grand Vizier must take over the commanding spy. Here is Akshay with the Grand Vizier.
Hello, I'm here with the Grand Vizier. So, Mr. Vizier, how do you think the Sultan is doing with his job?
Well, the Sultan is horrible at his job. He can't control his country, and I must take over. I hope one day we can have a Sultan who can control his nation and bring us out of these dire economic and political crises. If you thought that was all that was wrong with the government, then you are wrong. The Janissaries are also very corrupt. They steal taxes from the wealthy, the poor, from anyone they can. They use it to buy whatever they need. This is Bijan with a local farmer.
Ma'am, may I get a few words?
Sure.
What are your opinion on the Janissaries?
The Janissaries? It's been terrible since I've taken over. Everything's just worse. I have nothing else to say.
Have a good day, ma'am.
Okay.
So you might be asking, what happened during this political decline? Well, many reforms were tried, but they never really succeeded. The men of the Tanzimat set up a constitution, but the Janissaries and wealthy were too afraid that their power would be diminished. The constitution was squashed, and there was no change. The Young Turks also tried to carry out reforms, but they were not powerful enough to carry them out. Our future was grim, as we went through many wars, such as the Greek War of Independence, the Serbo-Turkish War, and the Russo-Turkish War. Here's Akshay with economics.
Hey, this is Akshay, here to report on the economic stagnation of the Ottoman Empire. Ever since the industrialization of England, we, the Ottomans, as well as countries around Europe and Asia, have struggled to keep pace with England and their never-ending advancements. As we are slowly falling behind in this race, our own people have chosen to buy imported products from places like India, Japan, and England over our own homemade manufactured goods. As the demand for our products is decreasing, our government revenue is slowly dwindling. Here's Bijan with a local businessman to talk about the situation.
Here with me today, I have a local businessman who's struggling. What are your opinions on the Industrial Revolution in England?
I'm dying. I can't keep up with them. Their products are cheaper and easier to mass produce. For me, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I have children to feed.
I see your point of view. Well, I hope it turns out good for you.
I hope so too, for my sake and my children's sake.
True.
To further deteriorate our economic standing, we have engaged and invested in a plethora of wars over the last century, sinking our money into a useless cause. Now let's get back to Bijan with a local soldier.
Sir!
I don't want to talk about the military.
Sir!
I have no opinion
Sir,
on the failures.
please,
No.
just one question, please. Sir! Come on.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, we were not able to get an interview with the Ottoman soldier. He refused to talk about the failures of the military.
These two major factors have created a stagnant economy that has diminished our credibility as a world power. It seems we are living up to our infamous name as the sick man of Europe. Now let's move on to Jonathan with the editorial.
Hey, this is Jonathan here with the editorial. As you can see here, the Ottoman Empire has been on a steep decline throughout the 18th and 19th centuries. This was due to failures in governmental structure, military techniques, and economic stagnation. Around the 18th century, central governmental control began to weaken while political power shifted to the local level in many parts of the empire. Additionally, many government positions were granted through bribery or favoritism, degrading their ability to effectively rule over the empire. Loyalty among minority groups fell due to the inability of the government to provide for the common people. Also, the empire itself was too large. Conquered peoples plotted for independence, which forced the military to be in constant conflict at some place in the empire to put down resistance, reducing the empire's military power. The Industrial Revolution in England impeded industrial efforts in the Ottoman Empire. The efficient industries of England focused on cheaply made objects that could be mass-produced in a relatively short amount of time. The Ottoman guild system couldn't keep up with the industrial system of England because their main priority was on quality rather than quantity. European merchants eventually took over Ottoman markets since their goods were cheaper.